The FA Cup, the Super Bowl, the NBA playoffs. Doesn't matter what time of year, grand finals and playoffs will get your blood pumping, and we've got all the action tonight here on Roosters TV. Welcome to Roosters TV. Matt Crowhurst, Nathan Hughes, Mike Simpson, bring you all the action of the grand finals that are happening all around the grounds in the next couple of weeks, guys. Good evening and welcome to Roosters TV. Lots to talk about tonight, but before we get into it, I just want to hand over to my colleague Mike Simpson, who's got something a little bit important to speak about tonight. So,
yeah, thanks, Crow. It's probably something that I don't really want to touch on tonight, but one of our guests that we had on last week, Jared Kendall, unfortunately his father passed away last week, so I would just like to pass on, we would like to pass on our deepest condolences to the Kendall family, and Jared and his father are stalwarts for that club. And I think that the whole rugby league family should embrace what they've done for that club. And it is a very sad thing to happen.
It's going to be tough for Bulimba in general, isn't it? Your hearts go out to all of them, really.
It is, mate, but that, as we touched on last week, Bulimba are an exceptionally tight-knit club.
Yeah.
And our deepest thoughts go out to Jared and all his family. Cheers, mate.
Thank you for bringing it to us, Simo.
No worries.
Tibbo, first up, let's talk about your big game coming up on Saturday.
Going to be a cracker.
Absolutely.
The old anxiety's kicked in. I think last Sunday, I think.
How's the week gone thus far? This is your second run with the boys tonight?
Yeah, second trainer session tonight. The boys trained well on Tuesday. They really dug in. We done a bit of D work. The boys actually really ripped into each other. Been waiting for that all year, but they do it grand final week, which is a good sign.
Yep.
We done a little light ball session, which was good, pretty sharp.
What have you got lined up for them tonight?
We'll probably just do a bit of a team run, light session, ease into the grand final.
And will you see them again before Saturday, or is this it tonight?
See them Saturday morning, most likely. A lot of us boys might catch up for breakfast or have lunch before we head over to the grounds.
We'll talk to a couple of the players shortly, but for you, what's the big difference between this team and 12 months ago getting into that grand final?
I think we're more hungry. I think we understand the pain that we felt last year in the grand final. Losing extra time against Gators is pretty heart-wrenching. The boys have been turning up all year this year, a lot better than last year. You know, we'd struggled with some numbers on most nights last year. This year, you know, we're getting good numbers at training. Boys just want to be here, and the culture, and you know, they're laughing, they're joking, you know, and that's the best thing about footy. You know, when you know your side's having fun and enjoying footy, you know, you're gonna
everything else comes naturally.
Yeah,
doesn't
it comes naturally. Yeah.
Especially with the quality of individuals you've got there. If they're all buying into the program and they're all enjoying themselves and they're relaxed,
yeah,
the best is going to come out of them, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. You're talking about culture, Tibbo. Do you think that's what's brought the majority of this side back for this year? Because on paper from last year's grand final, I don't think you really lost many people at all, to be honest. I think you maybe lost one or two.
I think we lost 4 from last year and picked up, you know, 6 or 7 this year.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, the nucleus of that side from last year is back, so it just goes to show that, you know, that hunger's still there.
Yeah.
You felt just short of that grand final. I mean, it went down to the wire.
Yeah.
You know, it was a cliffhanger, Crowy. It was had everything in it, mate. You know, it was a seesawing game. It's
Extra time losses.
You know,
horrible way to lose.
Yeah. So Brighton's, you know, jumped out of the blocks, you know, and they really give it to them type thing. But you know, kudos to Gators. They came back, and it was just, you know, it was there for the taking. But I think this year I can see more hunger, more drive, more.
Yeah, I think so too, Mike.
Yeah.
I think the boys want it more this year.
Yeah.
But I think that's comes with more experience, you know, in bigger games as well. Like a lot of the boys have played in grand finals, but our side's pretty rock solid. Like with brotherhood, culture, you know, you can't beat it. Like a lot of the boys hang out around out of footy as well.
That's
so it's
right.
not just here at the club and when we're training. It's all together, like on and off the field, with the culture. Like it's crazy.
Are you surprised of your opposition on Saturday? I mean, look, to be honest, anyone in that top 4 could have made it, but are you surprised that you're facing Vellies, or not surprised?
I knew Vellies were a good side. They're always going to be hard. Like we struggled in the first round when we played them. The second round wasn't too. They didn't turn up too well, but they're always a side to beat this year. You know what I mean? Like there was 4 or 5 really good sides this year at the comp. I think the other sides really tested you in the bottom 4, the bottom 4 or 5, but their top 4, 5, you know, they're up there.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of them players coming back from BRL as well will strengthen them sides.
I know you don't want to give away any state secrets, but give me one clear area where you win this game on Saturday. On the field, give me one area where you win it.
I think 3 or forwards. To tell you the truth,
Yep.
I think if our forwards set the platform, our backs can get a good start on. But yeah, I think in the forwards, I think through the middle.
The novelty of what Tibbo has, Crowe, is the phenomenal kicking game of Brent Boyd. Season after season after season, the guy just wins games purely on his kicking game, you know, and goal kicking type thing. And it's an exceptionally good piece of arsenal to have for
Absolutely.
Saturday. Yeah. And Tibbo's very lucky to have that luxury. But you know, he's got Gavin Causer at halfback, you know, Player of the Year.
We touched on Marlon Doak last year and the things he's done at another level above.
Junior Crawford, you know,
Yep.
These are guys who have made representative.
Misty,
Yeah,
like
Misty.
Misty Marlon Doak,
Good.
Samson Link.
Yep.
You know, the side's full of players that you know.
And all those blokes who don't get it, you know, like Tay Rio and
Terry's rep player from 2 years ago.
exactly, yeah, and he will bust his ass, Crowe,
Mhm.
every single game. You know, like
Yeah.
if he's told to get out there and do what he needs to do, type thing, he'll go all day. So it is quite a good side for Saturday. But you know, looking at the Valley side as well, pretty strong right across the park.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
So now I'll turn that question around. Give me one area where you think you have to watch Valleys. What's one thing they're going to bring?
Oh, I think anyone that knows Donny Gowler and his system, he loves a good scoot set.
Yep.
He loves to get out, get his players out and get scoots, get early kick. So they're probably going to look to turn us around a fair bit
Mm-hmm.
and get a quick play the ball and roll through the middle because we do have big bodies. So I think we really got to be tight around that A and B and around that ruck, really slow it down and keep it at our pace.
One thing I did notice, Tibbo, was for Valleys against their last game against Carina was the kicking game of their 5'8". You know, he seems to have that ball on a string type thing. Is that one player that you sort of...
Yeah, he's similar to Brent with his kicking game. He's got a good kicking game.
Agree.
Pretty skillful sort of player. I haven't seen too much of him. I've only seen him play 2 or 3 times, but what I've seen of him, he can kick a ball. That's for sure.
He can kick the ball, mate. Yeah.
And that's a big thing in big games. You know, that can win a game.
Yep.
It's kick it 40-20, 5 minutes to go, and you lead them by 2 or
Yeah, exactly right.
trail them by 2. It's big.
There's an old saying in footy that you've got to lose a grand final or win a grand final. You did that last year, unfortunately, but hopefully it makes a difference this year and you can get over on Saturday.
Hopefully, because I haven't won a senior grand final, so I'm looking forward to it.
All right. Brilliant. Thank you for your time as always, mate. And we'll be back with Roosters TV very shortly. All right, boys, let's talk some footy. Let's talk about BRL. Big weekend coming up. 2 semi-finals.
2 semi-finals.
Talk to me about it, Samo.
I was actually out at the West Panthers Valleys game last Saturday at Arana Hills. Panthers got up there 31-30. So it was quite an interesting game. So you know, we're looking at this this side here with the likes of Kane Zalewski and Ashley Harrow in there. It's quite a big side. They did get the against these Tigers, I should say.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's the Tigers.
Against the Tigers. They were very tough across the park, West Brisbane Panthers. East were very disappointing. It was 18-all at half time. But
No gas in the second half in the tank for the Tigers, unfortunately.
no, they really took their foot off the pedal, and East and West Brisbane Panthers just got that second win in the second half and come home with the money.
I mean, we talk about it every week with this competition, but the quality of the players running around here is just phenomenal. My eyes can't help but flick down to the next game. We're going to talk about Valleys versus the Winner Seagulls. Troy Nwatney, the Klein brothers, Paulie Ivan didn't play on last weekend, but we know the quality of him. You know, remarkable.
Joey Bond at the back there.
Joey Bond at the back, exactly. You know, sets up a really mouth-watering couple of encounters next weekend too, doesn't it?
It does, mate. It does. You know, you just have to look at some of these sides, and realistically, some of these sides could just be a Q Cup side.
Well, particularly that Redcliffe side. I mean, they didn't play last weekend, but we'll see them in the major semi this coming weekend against Valleys, and as you say, could be a cute upside that Redcliffe side, couldn't it?
Exactly right, yeah.
So, guys, prediction time. We only touched on it, but let's have a look at those two semis coming up this weekend. In the major semi-final, we've got the Dolphins versus Valleys out at Dolphin Oval. Predictions, can anyone get past the Dolphins?
No.
To argue with that assessment?
At home,
Yep.
Dolphin Oval, they've been the form side all year, Redcliffe. But, you know, this is finals football, anything's possible. Valleys are a strong club, but you've asked the question, and I think Redcliffe for me.
Yeah, look,
I think it's a tough one. To tell you the truth, Redcliffe could turn up with a mentality. You know, we get a second bite of the cherry, so you know, let's not go so hard.
save it for next week.
Yeah, save it for next week.
Yep.
A week off might have done them, you know, wrong.
Yep.
Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. I think with Redcliffe, their list, they win, but Valleys, they got a big heart and big spirit, so
Yeah.
game could go either way, I think, really personally.
And I guess Valleys will have the advantage. They had a really tough, hard game last weekend against Wynnum. They're going to be ready. They're going to be, you know, tough and battle ready. Undoubtedly, they've had a great week of training. They're going to be, you know, full foot forward, ready for this game.
Yeah, I mean, everyone wants to knock off Redcliffe.
In any grade.
In any grade. Redcliffe are always strong, you know, so that, you know, there's always that, you know, emotion that comes out when you're playing Redcliffe. It's just what it is.
It's a benchmark, eh?
It is, yeah.
It's a benchmark, or
Yeah.
as they used to say, silver spoons, you know.
That's it.
Exactly, yeah. But right across the park in that side, in that BRL side, it is just quality. But yeah, as Tibbo said, it could go either
But
way.
even to see Valleys knock off Wynnum last week, that side, like Mitch Bucket,
Yeah.
played on their own, do you know what I mean?
Again,
Exactly.
yeah, like
That's
another
right.
another cup side there, you know.
You know what I mean?
They're,
Have a
Ben
look at-
Cronin.
Have a look at that list, yeah.
Yeah.
Really quickly to the minor semi-final at Wynnum on Saturday afternoon rather. Wynnum versus West Brisbane Panthers. We know, same story, we know the quality of both these teams. I know it's a Wynnum game at home and they've got a great list, but I really like this Panthers side. I've liked them all season. I think they're hard to go past.
As I said, Crowe, I went out and watched, you know, that West Brisbane Panthers and East game last week, and they really looked sharp.
Yep.
West Brisbane, but Wynnum at home, really tough to win there with the chook pen.
Yeah,
you know,
that's
the
right.
crowd support, and I don't know. I think Wynnum might just get home on that one.
Yeah.
It's a hard one for me.
In my heart says West Brisbane, but you're right, you make a very good point. The chook pen is a hard place to
It's
put
hard.
anyone.
It's daunting.
It's hard going down.
It's
Yeah.
daunting. Yeah.
Well, Crow, you know what I mean? Like,
Oh.
your boys east.
Last time we were out there was not a pleasant memory, mate.
Yeah.
I think Wynnum, it'd be a close game. I don't think there'll be much points against them.
Yep.
You know, maybe 4 to 8 points, you know, between the winners.
It'll be a very close game. I think it's going to come down to either a field goal or maybe a penalty goal or something.
All right, time is against us, but really quickly, let's rock on, keep going and talk some Intrust Super Cup because big semi-final action coming this weekend. Townsville Blackhawks at home against the South Logan Magpies, and then same time virtually Sunday afternoon out at Suzuki Stadium. My boys, the East Tigers, take on the Townsville Blackhawks. The Falcons win the first game, sorry. So yeah,
It's a big task for South. I know we've been talking about it for weeks now and saying that, you know, they're the dark horse, but it's a big task going to Sunshine Coast.
it's not the of any of those 4 teams. That's not where you wanted to end up. Was going to the Falcons wanted.
No.
If you could pick any place, you didn't want to go there. An elimination game.
For some reason, I'm going to this game actually, the Falcons South Logan game. So game day there at Kiwana is just, it's like a fortress. And when you got Trigger in the box,
Yeah.
barking
Scramble
orders. Yeah, great. So I was saying that these 2 coaches coming head to head, Buchanan and Ingebrigtsen, 2 different coaching styles, but you know it's going to be very interesting how this one pans out.
Interesting in terms of they're both NRL aligned clubs, but very different numbers of players that go back to their squad. So Souths will have maybe Travis Waddell, and probably that's about it in terms of their Broncos players coming back to them. Jermaine Asako, but he's not really a Bronco of any note. Played 1 or 2 games. Falcons will probably be quite heavy with players coming back from the Storm though.
Very, very much so. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Brandon Smith does actually turn up. Last week he was a late scratching.
Yeah.
Alex Bishop fixed the that hooking position there, but you know. But in saying that, Crow, you know, look at the blokes that they got there. Brendan Gibb, Phil Dennis,
Archer, Phil Dennis,
Scott Minto.
Yeah.
If anyone's going to turn a game around through his kicking, it's Scotty Minto.
Even Matt Minto.
Minto, sorry. Yeah.
Guys, I actually like the lad off the bench, the 15, Sydney. I played a bit of footy with him.
Yep.
For Waterloo. He's only young. He's out of the Gold Coast system. Can play. Like he was starting there before. I think Brendan Gibb went there. He's pretty handy. Like I said, they're a handy side across the paddock. South, and they're gonna put in for each other. I know that for a fact, and I know the coach is pretty smart coach as well.
Yeah, Buck's a really good coach.
Yeah. Well, same with Triggs, but give or take, you know, they're both very smart coaches, and they're both going to have their sides pumped and ready.
That's right. And then let's be honest, it's an elimination final, so you lose, you're out. You know, so it's a big game for all these sides this weekend.
I'm going to ask you to put your money in your mouths as boys and give me a winner. Tough one, I know. I'll go first. I'm going to tell you. My heart tells me Souths, but my head tells me Falcons just by nose.
I'm sticking to what I know. It's the Falcons, mate. I've said it all season.
You have? Yep.
I like them. Melbourne Storm.
I think Riley Jackson, Jerome Hughes will get a name.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Easy.
And the other one, East Tigers versus the Blackhawks. The reverse of a game from this time of the finals year last year, when the Tigers travelled up to Townsville and got absolutely pumped. Tigers will be much more happy to be playing at home this year.
I don't see it happening like that again.
No.
I think tables might turn.
Yeah.
Easter come to the form and got some very good forwards in that forward pack.
Yeah.
With a lot of experience. I think, and even the Blackhawks, you can't go past them. They're a quality side and a lot of NRL experience on that side. I mean, that's a tough one.
Tough one for the Blackhawks, losing Carl Anderson last week for a broken arm. That's a big amount of points, if nothing else, out of your team in terms of try scoring and goals.
I think Gavin will push into that position now.
Yeah, he's a really good player, Darren Crampton. You can't underestimate him.
He's Mr. Fix-It, so he can play anywhere across the paddock.
Well, Carl Anderson, leading point scorer all year. You know, sensational effort. You know, for that. But you know, as you said, Tibet, like you look at that Townsville Blackhawks side. You know, there's a lot of experience in there as well. You know, like the Michael Parker Walshes and Anthony Mitchells and those sort of guys there. So
a couple of guys you touch on there who are playing their last games potentially for the Blackhawks. So they'll want to go out on a big note. Whenever their season does end.
And I've got big raps on the Townsville coach guys. Christian Wolf. I think he's done really good things with the Blackhawks since he's come up there.
Does some stuff internationally too, doesn't he? He's a good coach across a number of levels.
He is, yes, and his brother's just got the
Tweed
gig. So you know, runs in the family with the Wolves.
Let's not underestimate the mighty Tigers though. I mean, you look at a lineup like that. Linkport at the back. I think you mentioned Paul Tibbs. He's just a footballer. This kid, isn't he?
Just a footballer. And a try scoring machine too.
That's exactly right.
Point scoring, like he knows it from the line.
I mean, a team there. I think even without Matt Pittman and Stephen Thorpe, still a team with about 4 guys who have played over 150 Intrust Super Cup
Jake
games.
Foster, Tommy Butterfield.
Yep.
When you got
Nate Miles, them sort of blokes like
Robbie Rocco, and Charlie Gallo, who I think is one of the most exciting edge forwards I've seen through this competition in a long time.
And probably the best 2 halves running around the comp at the moment.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Butterfield
and Croft.
Well, Croft's only maybe a season away from playing NRL, mate. He's that good. You know, he's a couple of maybe a pre-season under the belt at the Storm, and I think he's in there.
Yeah, I mean, he's played 5 games already this year. We know he will add to that challenge.
Oh, absolutely, What did you think about the Player of the Year awards? Was there any surprises in?
Not to me. I mean, I'm always going to say that more Tigers should get acknowledged. So I was surprised Tommy Butterfield didn't get the Hooker of the Year. But look, the players that won the awards were all very deserving. You can't go past Boas for best and fairest. And for People's Choice, great player and a great team that have had a great season.
The first Papua New Guinea player to win it, I think, is an exceptional effort.
I think it's great for their club too.
He was a point scoring machine.
Michael Murray, coach of the year for the second time,
Yep.
which is pretty phenomenal from him.
It's a great effort. It's hard coaching at any level, I think. I take my hat off to any coach, but coaching at Queensland Cup or NRL, if you're doing a good job in there, it shows you're very talented.
And this is one thing, we talk about these exciting semi-finals coming up this weekend in the Intrust Super Cup. Let's not forget your prize for winning this is to get to go and butt heads with Papua New Guinea or Redcliffe.
Yeah. So we're just touching on that though. What do you think? What do you make of that game down at Tweed? They got rolled. Surprised a lot of people, but as I did mention, very hard to win down at Pickabeen.
I think there's a lot of tension there. A lot of tension for the coach and a lot of passion. Like he's done a lot of good things for that club.
Yep.
Like you said, I think I watched the interview the other day. He's been there for over 5 years, which is fantastic.
He's done great things for the club.
I don't think they were ever going to lose that last game just purely on the fact that Pickabeen's a fortress and it was Aaron Zimley's last game.
Yeah.
They were never going to lose that.
And I think it was an exceptional effort to beat Papua New Guinea because they are no pushovers.
No.
They really dug deep. Tristan Lumley, from all reports, killed it.
Yeah.
So, good effort.
And little Trudeau, I know you watch this, mate. We're looking at you. You're coming on Roosters TV real soon, brother. All right, so Intrust Super Cup semi-finals this weekend. My Tigers get up and the Falcons get up. Yes, no, maybe?
I reckon East.
East, correct.
Oh, I'm definitely going Tigers.
That's Tigers.
Too strong across the park, and as Tibbo said, like the Robbie Roccos and that type of thing, really add that experience.
But even their centre, like Shane,
Shane Newman,
he's been around for
150 games for the Tigers.
And he's not really that old.
Yeah,
and
he's just been around for a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, scored a hat-trick winning a grand final for the Falcons back in 2009, didn't he?
Yep. So he can play footy, and he knows how to get up for these big games.
That's it. And we're back, joined for this segment by two of the superstars of the Brighton Roosters Premier Grade side, Gav Corsa and Jamie Maliko. Guys, welcome to Roosters TV.
Cheers, mate.
Big weekend coming up. Gav, how are you feeling heading into the grand final? How's the grand final week treating you?
Yeah, it's all good. All the boys are ready to go in the battle. Our preparation has been a lot better than last year, I think. No injuries. The boys have all been turning up for each other week in, week out. I reckon we're all ready to go.
Do you think that's the main difference from 12 months ago? Was just the attitude in the group and turning up for each other?
Oh, yeah, attitude's one, but it was our first year playing together down at the club, so...
New coach, of course.
Yeah, new
Tibbo's
coach,
first season.
yeah. It's a lot different. We got a lot of boys that come back from last year that we all have the same bind.
Yep. Jamie, you've been around the club a few seasons. What do you think about this year compared to the past seasons around the club?
I think we've got a stronger, tight-knit team. Everyone's knows how each other plays and stuff like that. I really think our halves have stepped up this year, especially with Superstar here next to me.
Yeah.
He's stepped up big time this year, and we've moved our old half into lock, Junior Crawford, so he's
Junior.
and Robbie K, they have to swap around, but they're doing a good job at lock there.
Nice. Mike, what have you got for the boys?
So, just reiterating from last year, guys, you made it to the grand final last year. Your first time that Brighton actually had a Prem side here. Never had a Prem side. Made it to the grand final first time. Played against Gators, big game. You lost it there. What's different about that game as opposed to coming into your opposition on Saturday against Valleys? Which I'm actually looking forward to this game. It's on paper it seems like it's going to be a good game. But what's different from last year as opposed to this year? Do you think that you can bring the trophy home?
I think emotions got to us at the end there. Some of us come from Gators, cross over here. But the game was a weird game for us. We started off slow. They put on 20-something points in the first 15 minutes, I think.
Right. Yeah.
And then we ended up coming back and led 24-22. And the game was just seesaw. But Gators had some good players there, like Solly, a real good player. I rate him up there as one of the best front rowers that was running around last year in that team.
Chesty was outstanding for them on that grand final. I think he got a hat trick that day. He was their main go forward.
So, with last year done and dusted, not looking back type thing. Valley's on Saturday. Were you expecting this opposition on Saturday with the calibre that you had? West Brisbane Panthers, Carina, they were really strong at the back end of the season. Did you think that you'd be playing Valleys on Saturday?
To be honest, any of the top 4 would have made it, could have made it. Anyone could have lost on the day. It depended on the attitude and who turned up. And obviously, Valleys turned up a lot better, a lot organised than West, and done them.
Yeah. Crowie, I just want to touch on one thing that is coming up, is the Brisbane Second Division Awards, and Gavin's been nominated in Prems for one of the medals there. He's up against one of the boys from Waterford. So I think 2 years in a row Gavin's been nominated for this award, so it sort of gives you some idea exactly how he's looked upon, with the point system, how it comes about. So he's very consistent throughout the year to be able to qualify for it. So I think that's a pretty good effort.
Remarkable achievement to be nominated 2 years in a row, isn't it?
In a row, yeah. So and let's be honest, there's a broad range of players running around who are high quality, including in this Brighton side. Jamie didn't mention a couple of players here, but I mean you got like Brent Boyd, he's worth the admission price alone.
Craig Turner.
Exactly, Marlon Doak.
Dokey, yeah.
And then the Roosters have lost Jamie through injury, and also Richie Martin through injury. So there's 2 big, players as well, big game players as well, who, but Brighton seem to have that knack of actually, keeping together and coming back and getting these wins.
Just say one thing. This bloke here getting picked twice in 2 years in a row. He's really been overlooked as a player with rep sides. I think he made his first rep side this year for the Brisbane team. Just want to say probably the most underrated player in this whole comp. Me personally, he's carried a big job in this team this year. He's turned this team around, so I just want to congratulate you, Miles, for making it. Good luck with your with the pickings this year, but I'm pretty sure that you should clean up.
And I'll just back Jamie up on that, Crowie, that it is Gav's first representative game. I was there at the game to watch the Brisbane representative side, and I can tell you what, mate, he held his own. So I think that's not going to be his only representative side. I think he doesn't get nominated for two years in a row for nothing. You know what I mean? So I think it was well deserved, and as Jamie said, he is one of the underrated players in the competition.
Guys, we've talked about it all night. Big game coming up on Saturday. For everyone out there, where and when are we going? Come down and watch the game.
We're heading out to Les Hughes Oval Complex out at Bray Park.
Yep.
So there's a double header on there if you're interested in coming out. So we've got the North Side 3, Holy Spirit and Valleys Juniors. So Valleys are actually in the forerunner.
Yep.
And then you've got the big one of Brighton and Valleys Juniors in Prem. So if you head on to the Brisbane Second Division Rugby League site on Facebook, you'll be able to see exactly all the games on there. But I believe you're heading to that one, Crowie?
Yes, mate, absolutely. Go down there and have an eye on that. And,
yeah.
Lucky enough to know a fair few boys on the Brighton side, so go along and cheer the lads on.
Yep.
We'll have all the details on our Facebook as well and on our YouTube channel, so look out for that. Guys, thank you very much for coming in and giving us your time. I know you're about to head off to training, so thank you for this.
Good luck this Saturday, boys.
Yeah, real good luck. We'll see you there.
Guys.
Awesome.
Mate.
Thanks, Gav. Thanks, Jamie.
All the best, boys.
All right, guys, good night. Let's just wrap it up with acknowledging the big man and his team for their grand final on Saturday. Remind us again, Mike, when and where are we going to watch this grand final, mate?
Yeah, on Saturday, heading out 3 o'clock out to Les Hughes Sporting Complex. 2 games on there, Pine Holy Central and Open Threes versus Valleys, and the main game, the Prems, Brighton versus Valleys Juniors, 3 o'clock. Check on the Brisbane Second Division website on Facebook. All the times are allocated there. And just while I've got you, Crowie, the Brisbane Second Division Player of the Year Awards.
Oh, yes, please.
Out at Acacia Ridge, Brandon Park, $85 a person.
Mm-hmm.
It's Friday the 22nd of September, 7 o'clock for a 7:30 start. So,
yep.
And that's food and and drinks.
Food and drinks
Hours, eh?
per person. A lot of players here that have been nominated here for these finalist medals. An exceptional amount of talent there, but you know, I've been there the last couple of years for these awards, and I tell them on show. I thought it was just to get it there, support them. $85, food and drink.
It's a great night. Like I've been there, there myself.
And get out and to support your players from your local club.
That's it. All right, guys, great night. Thank you all very much. We'll see you on Saturday for the big round final, and we'll see you folk in a week's time.